Please subscribe to Bear Nerd Fun. Smash the like button. Goodbye.
Hail to all. We do not need. Hail to all. Now come on, Hollywood. Stop smelling your own farts. You might get mistaken for arse sniffers. Remember, when you go woke, you go broke. Hail. This is Bear Nerd Fun. Going to be live here in a few minutes. Figure I'd throw this little bit of cartoon in with my video. Another Terminator Dark Fate review coming to you shortly. Putting it together. Hail to the fandom menace from Cartoon Land. Hail to the fandom menace. This is Bear Nerd Fun. Well, an article from Cineblend, and the great shilling has begun because they're going to start shilling for this movie. Maybe the critics will be divided. Who knows? Terminator Dark Fate. Reviews are in. Here's what the critics are saying. It's not a secret among Terminator fans that the franchise has been navigating through rough waters for a while. The last 3 movies ranged from not coming close to measuring up to the original 2 installments, just being outright bad, and even the well-received TV series Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, was canceled after 2 seasons. Hey, you know what? That was better than this movie is going to be. Better. It was better. They could piece all that together and people would go see it at the movie theater because it was better. So, there's a lot riding on Terminator Dark Fate, which serves as a sequel only to the Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and reverses the Terminator franchise's fortunes. Yeah. The public is still a little over a week from getting to see Terminator Dark Fate, but early reviews are now pouring in following the initial reactions. Judging by what critics have written, it looks like the movie finally places the franchise on firmer ground. Ha 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 ha. Firmer ground. Yeah, you mean quicksand. Yeah, it's placed on quicksand and it's sinking, baby. Yeah, sinking. Who knows how deep that quicksand goes? Yeah, firmer ground, man. My goodness. Make me laugh. That's funny stuff. Yeah, reactions judging by the critics have written, it looks like this movie places the franchise on firmer ground, although like the previous 3 installments, it doesn't hold a candle to Terminator or Terminator 2. Man, it couldn't hold a piece of string on fire to it, okay? A piece of lint on fire to it. Yeah. Sizzle. Yeah. Starting off, Cineblend's own Eric Eisenberg gave Terminator Dark Fate a 3.5 out of 5 stars in his review, acknowledging that while a plot is very reminiscent of what we saw in the first 2 Terminator movies, it still works because of the outstanding collection of dynamic and fun characters, great performances from the whole ensemble, and some bold and thrilling action sequences. Terminator Dark Fate had a low bar to clear, but that doesn't undercut that it's still a very satisfying experience. Ha! Yeah. IGN's Jim Vijavoda heaped even more praise on to Terminator Dark Fate, giving it a 8 out of 10 score, and man, is he shilling for that movie. In his eyes, what makes Dark Fate an improvement over the last 3 movies is because it knows that less is more when it comes to the T-800 Arnold, and that the first two movies were about Sarah Connor, not the eponymous robot assassin. Man, I've never seen that word before. That makes it all the more pleasing that Linda Hamill came back to reprise Sarah after nearly 3 decades away from the role. I will say, there are some really good Sarah Connor action sequences in this movie. Her performance is probably going to be the best thing about the whole movie that I know of so far. But not everyone thought Terminator Dark Fate was a return to form. Darren Franchett from Entertainment Weekly stamped the movie with a C grade, calling it another bad sequel in the Terminator canon. Franich believes Dark Fate is packed with cliches and lackluster story beats, though he noted that at least it's frequently bad in a funny way, without the dutiful dullness of the last couple sequels. This is another unsteady piece of franchise recycling, never really deciding whether it's continuing the story of familiar icons or launching a new adventure. The AV Club's Jesse Hessinger was similarly unimpressed with the R-rated Terminator Dark Fate, giving it a C+. Man, I'd have gave that a D-. Although he admitted that the storyline of Arnold Schwarzenegger T-800 is one of the few genuine surprises the movie has to offer. Hessinger found Dark Fate as a whole to be unremarkable and serve as a case study for the difficulty of crafting a satisfying follow-up to a pair of certified classics. Well, here's a hint. The hint is, if you make a movie go woke, people aren't going to want to watch it. You may get a few new people to come in here. You may get a few younger people to come in that's never really invested in the Terminator franchise, who isn't a fan, will go see it. So, satisfying follow-up. The pair of certified classics. Yeah, my something. The Dark Fate gets more engaging as it goes on. An escape from a disabled plane is a low-gravity highlight. Its sci-fi ideas mostly amount to listless skimming of hot-button issues. Yeah, didn't they do in one of the Fast and Furious movies, didn't they do a plane scene where they were trying to... It's very, very similar. It wasn't quite in the air yet, but very similar to that. I'm sure there's other movies that use that idea too. Back in more positive territory, Jill Panzazzi from IO9. Well, we kind of already know what she might say. Dark Fate female protagonist Sarah Connor is joined by Mackenzie Davis, Grace Natalie Reyes, Danny Ramos. Pantazzi mentioned that the CGI in Dark Fate is a mixed bag and the movie's biggest... Oh, so she's not going to shill. Good. But the story nonetheless is dynamic. Oh, okay, there we go. She's shilling. Dynamic action pieces and inventive fight sequences. Well, I've heard some of the Mackenzie fight sequences is pretty awesome. So that could be a good thing. But the few wokeness scenes that pop in kind of breaks that bubble. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. When they change the movie? High Octane will leave you gripping your seat. Yeah, okay. Terminator and Terminator 2 Judgment Day still stand as near-perfect story pairing. Their stories certainly never needed to be continued, but as this is Hollywood and the franchise wheels are ever turning if they had to move forward, Dark Fate is finally the follow-up they deserve. Yeah. They thought we deserved a needle in the eye instead of a good story. Finally, Empire's Helen O'Hara awarded Terminator Dark Fate 4 out of 5 stars, complimenting the movie for taking true narrative risks. She labeled Dark Fate as a worthy descendant rather than a cheap cash-in, and felt we can now look to the future of the Terminator franchise with hope. Yeah, not if people don't want to go see it and spend their money if it's not good. Easily the third best Terminator film, which is more of a compliment than it sounds. It's great to have a Hamilton back in this role, but she's ably matched by Reyes and Davis. Overall, the Terminator Dark Fate won't overthrow the Terminator or Terminator 2, not by a frickin' long shot. Franchise best offerings, it sounds like it takes a step in the right direction. We'll have to see who Dark Fate performs commercially, but if it does well on that front, perhaps it will indeed launch a new trilogy. Yeah, I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Because it'll just be more Wokenator crap. Something Salvation and Genesis both failed to do. I think after this, Genesis will be looked at as the better movie. It definitely had some premises and ideals. But it kind of did something to the main character that they kind of did here too. So they were kind of inching toward it a little bit in Genesis, I think. But what they did with the original main character of Terminator, yeah, we know who that is. Hashtag, where's John Connor? So, leave your comments in the comment section, hit the bell for notifications, and smash that like button. Hail to the Fandom Menace. Now come on, Hollywood. Stop smelling your own farts. You might get mistaken for arse sniffers. Remember, when you go woke, you go broke.
Please subscribe to Bear Nerd Fun. Smash the like button. Goodbye.
Say hello. Hello. Say hello. Say nerd fun. Nerd fun. Nerd fun. Say goodbye. Goodbye. Hail to the Fandom